in Southern California, about 10 miles north of Mexico. At the end of Point Loma, a sandstone garden for San Diego Bay, where the air is a heavily scented mixture of sage and sea spray, and the gulls, falcons, and hawks play, where the seals sun and the families have fun. Here lies a relic. This relic, known as the Cabrillo National Monument, has played host to many memorable moments of human and geological history. It is a living, endangered ecosystem. A testament to New World discovery and military conquest. Surrounded by military installations, commercial and residential developments, and the 1.3 million San Diegans that call the area home, you might be surprised what secrets this small stretch of mostly wild terrain peninsula has to tell. Many believe it was here, on the eastern shore of Point Loma, at a place called Ballast Point, that on September 28, 1542, Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, while leading an expedition for Spain, touched land and set in motion a chain of events that would lead to the founding of San Diego and California. In the days he spent ashore, Cabrillo met the native Kumeyaay people. They had been in the area nearly 12,000 years by that point, and often would come to harvest mussels, clam, abalone, lobsters, or fish nearby. You can observe and explore much of the same sea life they would have seen in those days today by visiting the rocky intertidal zone tide pools located on the western shore of the monument. These tide pools, which are covered at high tide but uncovered at low tide, are home to a wide range of animals and plant life suited to this extreme environment. This rich, rocky area is one of the very last remaining intertidal zones in California. Looking up from here, above the sandy cliffs, we see the same coastal sage scrub and chaparral forest that used to dominate the coastline of California. But today, Point Loma is one of the last places on California's coast that you can find this habitat anymore. It gives one pause to reflect that this bit of land is one of the only examples of its kind left in California. Walking down the 1-mile-long Bayside Trail on the east side of Point Loma, we can see and smell this sage and many other native and non-native plants close up. We can follow Cabrillo's path and imagine the enormous Spanish galleon, the San Salvador, entering San Diego Bay for the first time. Did he think he would find the Strait of Annan here? A mythical all-water route across North America? Or was he more interested in discovering the mythical 7 wealthy cities of gold, known as Cibola? Either way, he named the bay San Miguel and described it as a very good enclosed port. And the Spanish, Mexican, and United States governments would all agree, building up this area and battling over it for the next several hundred years. Atop the Cabrillo National Monument, you'll find the Old Point Loma Lighthouse, one of the most popular and easiest to access features of the monument, but it's also known as a blunder of U.S. planning. Constructed in 1855, this lighthouse could be seen for many miles, but they hadn't factored that it would be shrouded in fog frequently, greatly limiting its effectiveness. In 1891, they built a new lighthouse lower down the hill and closer to the ocean, which is still in use today. But despite being obsolete, the Old Point Loma Lighthouse was restored and is currently on display, showing an authentic lighthouse and living quarters as they would have been in those days. Guests here can ask themselves the question, would I have taken the job as lighthouse keeper in those days? Just a short walk from the lighthouse, we find this whale overlook. A perfect place during winter months to watch majestic gray whales migrating along the Pacific coast. Nearby, we can see direct evidence of the days when Cabrillo National Monument was actually part of the United States war effort. During the World Wars, there were radio towers, searchlights, and lookouts built around the entire area that now houses the Cabrillo National Monument. Remember, at one point, the Cabrillo National Monument itself was part of Fort Rosecrans. Here you can see a map of many of these military artifacts that still remain there today for you to see. Their interiors are only open on select days of the year, but they still serve as a poignant reminder of the sometimes tragic war history of the area. As we walk down the hill from the Old Point Loma Lighthouse and the whale overlook, we head towards what is arguably the most prized feature of the Cabrillo National Monument. Here, surrounded by a plaque and picture takers, you'll find the impressive statue to Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo himself. This limestone statue was installed in 1988 and actually replaced the original, which was donated by the Portuguese government, but was made of sandstone, and like the cliffs that line the western shore of Point Loma, eroded away with the weather. It's been nearly 5 centuries since the initial discovery by Cabrillo, and the view from atop the monument shows that no land here, no matter its environmental or historical purpose, has been safe from developers' hands. If a local group in the early 20th century called the Order of the Panama hadn't championed for the government to set aside just a quarter of an acre to commemorate Cabrillo, there might not be any of this land protected in its natural state for us to explore. President Woodrow Wilson fortunately agreed and set aside half an acre in 1913 from what had been exclusively Fort Rosecrans. This would grow over time to become today's 144-acre National Park Service managed Cabrillo National Monument. You should begin and/or end your trip at the Cabrillo National Monument with the expansive visitor center, which is filled with interactive exhibits, rangers to answer any question, and a gift shop for mementos. Just drive to the left from the entrance and follow the signs to the parking lot and visitor center. This slice of land is a true treasure, a relic to be protected. To the untrained eye, it looks like any other undeveloped piece of coastline, but it has seen it all, from the time of the dinosaurs to when modern-day California was founded. It continues to support some of the last undeveloped and natural coastline environment anywhere in Southern California. And it is a survivor, avoiding the temptation of development. A perfect place to visit with your family, filled with breathtaking panoramic views, beginner to moderate hiking, and intertidal zones for all to enjoy. The Cabrillo National Monument has been protected by the National Park Service and will forever wait here for explorers to discover the secrets of what was and what is this special area known as Point Loma and San Diego.